Hello, Alicia. Hello, Zirui. And
Hi.
hello, Marie.
Hi.
Great.
Hi.
Thanks for your guys' participation for this panel. So let's go straight forward to our first question. And the growth of digital economy, like digital currency, digital assets, and the digital finance is an inevitable trend, right? In such a new economy situation, so how can centralized exchanges maintain their edge and strive for further growth? I would like to start with Alicia. Would like to share your ideas, Alicia?
Hi, hello everyone. This is Alicia from KuCoin. So I think considering trading volume as a benchmark of market cap, we can see that the trading volume of decentralized exchanges contributes a significant growth in last quarter, which at a certain point of time was even greater than some of the main centralized exchanges. So Bitcoin's contribution in the trading volume also glided from 39% to 31%. So DeFi projects, Polkadot, liquidity mining, ETF, new stuff keep showing up. It also means increasing of new demands from users, and satisfying their basic demand is just the beginning. So there are always newer ones coming up. We could see the first generation of crypto exchanges. They were simply designed to meet the needs to exchange tokens, and all the users asked was a platform easier to use. They needed multiple fiat gateways. They needed a stable matching engine to support high-frequency trading. So users' needs are always our priority. KuCoin Futures has been launched over 1 year ago. And I can remember that before the launch, our team made accessibility, stability, friendly user experiences, and ecosystem diversity. So they were obsessed with perfection, emphasizing not just in the concept. So product instructions and running tests and internal consensus is so strong that no one rushed about kickoff until every needs of users are met. So I've been asked repeatedly that if I'm worried about centralized exchanges are falling, and truly, I never worry. I actually have pretty strong confidence in it, because even for myself, I actually have pretty so for myself to cater to users' needs, to solve users' problems is fascinating. I really enjoy being a problem shooter, and the centralized exchanges is exactly the best place to let me focus on it. So I think fulfilling users' needs are always the key for us. So no matter in the next step or in the long run, as long as we keep working on it, we will keep growing too.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, Zirui, what's your take on this? Would like to have your ideas.
Sure. Yeah. To echo Alicia's points, centralized exchanges are an indispensable part of our industry. We can say that Ethereum wouldn't be where it is today without centralized exchanges like KuCoin, TRON, Binance, and Gate. Bitcoin wouldn't be where it is today without centralized exchanges. And yeah, I want to point out, like, Bitcoin went to over 20K today. So it's a big day for our industry. It's probably the start of the bull run, right? It's very exciting times. And centralized exchanges have contributed a lot for the growth of the industry. We can maintain the growth and the edge of centralized exchanges by innovating fast and iterating to cater, like Alicia said, to users' needs. By, we have margin trading, P2P lending, fiat gateway, which is really important. Like DEXs, you don't have the fiat gateway. You already need to have Bitcoin or stable coins. Like Ethereum and stable coins to use to trade to other ERC20 tokens. And we offer so many more features that DEXs don't have. So this will not be replaced anytime soon. Yes, DeFi has grown tremendously this year since June, since the kick off a comp token.
Yeah.
We've seen the growth of Uniswap, SushiSwap, and other DEXs, but they are primarily ERC20 tokens. So if you want to trade other blockchains like Filecoin or Polkadot, you can't. You have to use centralized exchanges. So we have just way more features for users to use. And we have like localized languages, different languages to cater to people from different parts of the world. And we also like launched futures this year, like 8 different kind of futures. So we're working with KuCoin because users had that need, right? But you can't trade futures on DEXs. So what I'm saying is it's indispensable, and we're more composable now with DEXs by adapting its features, like yield farming. We integrate into our exchange, so you can earn yield without leaving Poloniex. Because some people just don't want to learn what is private key, what is a Web3 wallet, how to use MetaMask. It's not that easy to use. But when you're a newcomer, like right now, like CNBC was talking about Bitcoin this morning. So a lot of newcomers are coming now. So where do they go first? What's the first step, right? It's centralized exchanges. They can use their credit card. They can use their bank account to go to Coinbase and Poloniex and trade right away today. But like for DEXs, can they do that?
The time being. And I would say I saw 2019, everything in the DEX world was being built. I went to all the conferences and I saw everyone talking DeFi. And none of it was really built yet. And none of it was user friendly. DEXs have been around for a while, but none of them were really, were very user friendly, but centralized exchanges were. And furthermore, we have been able to provide a large amount of new features as well. I think in general, any smart company wants to create the best user experience for their user, right? And so you want to make the most out of both models. I was recently speaking on an AMA with Jason Wu, who's from Definer, and his clear vision is that is one that I also share, which is DeFi and CeFi will work hand in hand in the decade to come. And then we'll see. But, Bitcoin's only been around for 10, 11 years, right? If we make it all the way 10 years from now, we'll see what happens. Honestly, I think we'll probably see a mix of both come through. And I know that at Gate.io, we're always focused on providing the best trading experience for our users. And we often recommend that users also use wallet.io, which is, like a wallet, so that, if they're not keeping their funds on the, if they're not trading with those funds, they should keep it on their wallet, because it's safer that way. I think everybody understands that. And then it depends on whether you want to be fully responsible for those funds or not, right? And I think it has become very clear with PayPal launching and all of these different kind of companies launching that actually a lot of people don't want to have that responsibility. A lot of people want to trust their bank and want to keep their money in their bank. And now they're realizing, oh, wait, we can't trust banks and stuff like that. But that's a whole other discussion, of course. But I think in general, there are people who are going to want to have their own keys, and there are people who are not so interested. I know Revolut, for example, they launched similarly to PayPal only a few years ago, the opportunity for you to buy Bitcoin as well. So it is clear that there is a demand, and I think centralized exchanges are here to help fill that demand. And I think decentralized DeFi and CeFi will work together on innovation. The whole industry is about innovation, and we've all seen how quickly trends move. In September it was DeFi, then it was NFTs, now it's insurance. It's just 24/7, 365. And but that's what enables innovation, right? So that would be my take.
Yeah, I mean, I really like your concept, like talking about people don't like bank or wiggle bank less and less, right? So previously, I just heard an interesting concept from Da Hongfei, Neil Da Hongfei, and he said like we're going stepping into a word bankless banking, right? So anyway, let's move to our next question. I mean, I know there has a big skill, I mean, exposure for DeFi, like this in the market, right? Also, decentralized exchange got lots of eye attention, right, from the market. I mean, as long established centralized exchange, I mean, Gate, KuCoin, and Poloniex also been in the market for a while, right? How do you see the rapid growth of DEXs? I mean, who are now in a real advantageous position? I mean, in the DeFi sector. And what's your take on the relationship between centralized exchange and decentralized exchange? Yeah. I would also like to start with Alicia, right? Let's start same round.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the key of whether you are in an advantageous position is not quite about what kind of project you are, as long as you are increasingly needed by users, and you will always armed with a strong competitive edge. So as for the relationship for between the centralized and the decentralized exchanges, I think each individual might be the pivot, like a user or a project. So take the abnormal withdrawal incident happened on September. As an example. So after it took place, so first thing came first. In general, we aim to getting everything back to normal as soon as possible. So while myself, since I'm facing our clients, both users and projects from the front line. So working 24 hours non-stop, talking to them one by one, took all my efforts in the first day. And now I'm speaking here. So changing my role. So my point is, once asked, everyone on our team can double or even triple the roles, as efficient and agility are the beauty of centralization. So thus the relationship between us and DEX are also, I think it's also dynamic. We appreciate decentralized exchanges to bring us more attention from their native users and vice versa. So yeah, of course, a lot of our users also trade Uni tokens to the tokens of Uniswap. And we also understand some of users choose to transfer to decentralization exchanges as they gradually finish self-education of the crypto world and decided to explore further. So it should not be a zero-sum game. Just as the survey from PwC this year, only 6% of people ever heard about crypto.
Wow.
And all of us in this industry, only 6%. So all of us are working for them. And I think we centralized one and the decentralized ones should first try harder to get the number grow, and until like everyone become familiar enough with crypto, I will rethink the relationship between centralized exchanges and decentralized exchange again.
Thank you very much.
Before that, just working on it. Just go back to
work. We still need to work hard, right? On the different sectors.
Yeah, only 6%, right? It's
Yeah, that's Zirui. So what's your take on this?
Yeah, I agree with most of the points that she's saying. I think the relationships between DEXs and us is complementary. So we each offer our unique features to users. So as also as I was saying earlier, so I think we would coexist and like prosper together in the near future and in the longer term, because so for a lot of projects, especially this year, they want the launch on DEXs without any due diligence. So a lot of people, there were a lot of rug pulls, a lot of retail users got hurt because there was no vetting of projects. So at centralized exchanges, we have a dedicated team to vet the quality of the projects before we decide to list and have users trade different pairs. So that's what DEXs are lacking, and especially newcomers don't understand a lot of the fundamentals, and they see, oh, this project went 10x, 100x. They got in, and the team disappear. That happens so many times. This is different than ICOs, right? That most of the time it happened on DEXs. And then we look at the quality of the team, we do our due diligence, and we make sure, try as hard as we can to make sure that retail users don't get hurt, because once they get burned, they leave the space, and then we lose them, like for years probably, and they might never come back. And we need to attract more people to come. And also in the part of self-custody, recently we saw the CEO of Nexus Mutual, even it's an insurance project, but he got hacked $8.5 million from his MetaMask, which is self-custody fund. You have your private key, but the hackers are getting more and more advanced by the day. You know, they're more and more tech. They're just really clever. So even the insurance CEO got hacked. So he's custody his funds. So I'm saying it's not like entirely safe if you are even using your phone on MetaMask. But we have developed a really strong custody solution for users, right? Poloniex has been around for 7 years, and January is our 7th year anniversary. And Circle has developed a very strong. So users don't have to worry about that part. So they can trade and leave the funds there and earn interest while they leave the funds there, as like a soft staking solution will provide. So they're coexisting, complementing each other. That's relationship so far. As you get to know crypto more, you learn more, you transition yourself to learn the Web3 wallets and the dApps like Compound, Aave, Cream, lending, borrowing, decentralized without going to the bank. You have your collateral, and then you can borrow other coins, and then you can go farming, right? Different food coins and whatnot. So it's a process. We can onboard them. We have market order all of the features again that they lack and they can use, and gradually they can move to them. So like as me as a user, I use both on a daily basis. So it's coexisting and like innovating along with each other.
That's a great relationship. So Marie, your take on this?
Sure. I think your point is very good, especially about the Nexus Mutual CEO. You know, it's true if even someone like him can be hacked. I think it does say a lot. But something I will bring up in that instance is, you know, then he made a call on Twitter to the hackers to return the funds because they hacked, I think, 8 million or so.
But 8.5.
8.5, but
that's a lot, right?
Which is a huge amount, right? But the truth is, everybody knows what address it went to. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult for them to, you know, take it back out. And I think this is a big point, because now enough people understand there are people watching everywhere. And as a result from that, I'm seeing increasingly there are hacks, and then the person who is hacked sends out a message on Twitter or something saying, okay, good job, return the funds, and I'll give you the bug bounty like he suggested. And I wouldn't be surprised that the hacker, you know, decides to go through with it, because the truth is now, you know, being able to cash out on the other side, especially now that we're going to be seeing regulation really come through next year, it's going to be more and more difficult for them to cash out. Now, that doesn't mean, like, you know, you can ignore all of the risks, obviously, but I think it's an interesting point to make. However, talking about DeFi and, you know, that what I will say is, the DeFi sector is very nascent. You know, like I said, I met a lot of these DeFi projects back in 2018 and 2019. And it was really smart of them. They were spending the bear market building their products. Now, a lot of them were not successful, and I have not seen them, but some of them were. but that's the crypto space, right? But some of them were, and the ones that were are the ones that were responsible for the DeFi boom of the summer and September. But we have to be realistic in their limitations. Can they scale to a larger level? Can they prevent high-scale hacks? Are they really that user-friendly? I can't really answer, like, for any platform, yes, for all three of these questions. And I'm sure there are lots of other questions I haven't even thought about, you know?
Sure.
So I think there's still a long way before they go mainstream. And I will add this, there's also a long way until Bitcoin is mainstream. We're only at 300 billion market cap, right? I mean, we're still so far away from hitting the market cap of gold. There's still so much for us to do. So furthermore, one of the other things is any centralized exchange I know is working on bridges into the decentralized sector. And with a huge technical capacity, these players like us at Gate, like KuCoin, like TRON, all have, there's going to be, you know, amazing products that comes out of all of that. And probably not just entirely from our side, but also through us joining forces with decentralized platforms, et cetera, et cetera. So I think there's a lot more. Last thing I will say in terms of DeFi, I have seen, obviously, you know, in the DeFi space, the DEX space, there are all these pools, you know, and Zirui was talking about, you know, the rug pulls and stuff like that. And it's true that being able to do that due diligence is really important. It's one of the reasons that you like to invest in coins. But I will say, for sure, we've taken a look at some of the DeFi coins, and I think any smart person, you know, takes tips from what they see people are doing well, right? And we've seen some of the coins in the DeFi space working well, and we said, okay, you know, it seems like a good quality project, and then we were able to fast track, you know, instead of like going through the mountains of submissions that we get on a daily basis to be listed on the exchange, right? So it's kind of like a shortcut. And often, because the gas fees on decentralized exchanges can be very, very high, it's often more profitable for users to actually exchange them on a centralized exchange.
Agree. Thank you very much. So we come to our next question. As we just mentioned, we have lots of like new trends in DeFi sector, like let's say like NFTs, like we also have insurances on top of DeFi. So how should those, like you guys, the digital asset exchange, to deal with this new economic trend and adapt them to it? You know, I mean, I really want to have your ideas how you deal with those kind of new concepts. So let's start with Zirui from TorrentX.
How do we adapt to the new trend? That's the question, right? From TorrentX, we adapt ourselves by adopting the EMM model from DEXs. We integrate yield farming decentralized platforms like Compound and Aave onto our platform. It's work in progress. It hasn't finished, but we can integrate in the back end. So for users who just don't, they have full-time job, they don't have time to figure out how to use Compound and Aave, they can just use, they already signed up with TorrentX with just an email and password. And then they can click on the DeFi side of the platform to use yield farming. So we look at what they're doing and see which part we can integrate, and then we reach out to the projects, and then we talk with them and, you know, ask questions, and then we integrate back. So we become more composable. And like Maria was saying, that a lot of the times the fees, the gas fee is so expensive. Like today, the gas is 200 Gui. And if you're a small retail user, you want to exchange like $10 worth of stablecoin to Ether, you're paying like $5-7. It's not sustainable, but it's so much cheaper to just trade on central exchanges for both public blockchain projects and Ethereum projects. And a lot of them are struggling with liquidity issues as well, because you need a pool to provide liquidity by projects or users for people to learn the LP fees by providing liquidities, but they struggle with those liquidity issues from running bots. There are a lot of front running. So we don't have those issues like liquidity and transactions takes time to be verified on the blockchain. And front running risks and no fiat gateway. So we have those already on the exchange, and then we adapt by integrating what I just said. I would let's see what else. So moving forward, I see decentralized exchanges still going to play a very critical role in pushing the industry forward. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Marie, if you have any more ideas to add, different things Gate is doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So in our industry, I think trends, like I kind of said before, they're really important, and that's what keeps the innovation flowing. So I've actually never worked in an industry where there was like so much growth in all different kinds of respects. So, you know, I think digital asset exchanges, but not just centralized ones, all digital assets exchanges need to adapt to these trends. Because, you know, DeFi has been the most important thing right now, but there are going to be other trends that come along. And all of these exchanges, centralized and decentralized, will need to adapt to those trends as well. And only the most technically capable of these exchanges and of these projects are going to prevail. So I think this is an important point. A lot of these, you know, DeFi or DEX projects, they're great, but, you know, they have a pretty small team. They might not be ready to scale. And, you know, they're great for DeFi, but what happens when there's a new trend and there are new things that we kind of need to jump on? Whereas a lot of, you know, a lot of these centralized players, like we've been around since 2013, so we celebrated our 7-year anniversary in April of this year. You know, we have hundreds of developers, you know, and they all always work on very high quality projects, very high quality features. And I think, you know, what Zirui was saying, you know, we've seen what users like from the users like in the decentralized exchanges, and we're adapting some of that. So we also offer like yield farming. We also offer staking. We're also staking like ETH 2.0, you know, like we've seen what people are interested in, right? And we're adapting to that. And okay, like we're not decentralized exchanges, but we can provide a lot of features that decentralized exchanges were providing before, and you thought it was, you know, specific to them, but actually it's not, right?
Yeah, I understand that. So just adding like lots of DeFi features into the centralized exchanges, right? I mean, new features.
For sure.
Yeah. So.
For sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
And the last thing that I will mention is we haven't really talked about regulation, and I'm sure like there are lots of talks where you guys will talk about regulation, but you know, obviously regulation lags behind technological and economic trends, but in 2021 there will be regulation.
Okay, regulation also very important.
There will be a question about custody, about transparency, and any company that isn't abiding by all of that regulation, you know, it's okay for now, but it won't be okay in the future once all the regulation goes through, and they need to figure that out.
Yeah, regulation is alongside with the blockchain industry, right? There are always lots of discussion on that. Thank you very much for sharing. Alicia, if you have anything to add on this question, I would like to have your voice.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna start with a bigger scale. So talk about new economic. There is a big wave of uncertainty. So in short term, digitalization and healthcare renovations are the light spots. So they're always given to attention for a long time. But since the birth of COVID-19, they suddenly turned to the only spots. So I think the key would be ability to meet the dynamic and changing demands of the market.
Okay.
So we are all into lay a solid foundation to efficiently and agilely adapt to the market revolution with the accumulation traffic, liquidity, information, and other resources. We are capable of carrying out integration via means and products such as develop future trading, emerging trading, and other financial products to better incubate and support the projects with visions like TRON or Oracle platform to achieve trustworthy and transparent data processing like DIA, and such agility and flexibility also apply when we decide our strategic pivots, which are conceived based on what we heard from users of what they truly need, and also our vision of a prosperous future of the blockchain and crypto industry. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for sharing your insights here. I mean, the exchange of ideas gives us a better understanding of exchanges, right? So I'm sure changes are still brewing in this sector. Let's stay looking forward, right, to its future. I mean, DEX and centralized exchanges, I believe there is a good coexisting, right? So cannot be just choose one or just quit another one. I don't believe this. Thank you very much for your time and your sharing. Thank you, guys. Hope see you soon.
Thank you.